My name's Kevin Tran.
My name is Tian Chu.
My name is Kai.
My name is RJ Lomboy.
Powerlifting to me is really, for me, it's the day-to-day progression, you know? I feel like every week you do similar workouts, but you increase the weight, you increase the reps, and you really feel your improvement throughout each day, throughout each lift, whether that's your accessories or your main lifts. Yeah, that's powerlifting to me.
Powerlifting, in my own words, is a individual sport where you do 3 lifts at a competition, which is the squat, bench, and the deadlift, and trying to build the highest total. Added all the 3 lifts together, get the highest total.
Powerlifting to me is more like a sport where you just kind of like lift heavy and pretty much trying to see what your max is after training, kind of thing.
There's multiple things. One was the community that I built with my friends. 2 was the insecurities I felt in myself of my weight and the way I looked.
Bart Juan. I started watching him for comedy and stuff, and he started powerlifting, and I thought that was pretty cool, so I started too.
I guess mostly friends. When like I see them start doing it, I just kind of like want to do it too. It looks fun, and if your friends are doing it, then why not, kind of thing.
So I've probably been working out for now almost 3 years, and strictly powerlifting, like really getting into knowing how to lift as much weight as possible, probably a year now, 1.5 years.
I've been powerlifting for a year now. Before I was just bodybuilding, lifting weights for fun, but I started a year ago with my friends.
I've been powerlifting for, I would say, maybe 1 or 2 years, around there.
I see professionally, I do see a good amount of white people, but in minority, I think Hispanic.
my area, I would say that there are a lot of Asian American that are in powerlifting, and I don't really see a lot of Hispanic.
Where I'm at, it's not a lot of Asian, but because the gym is locally owned by a lot of white people, and I would say there's a majority is white.
Well, my parents are definitely school first, health later. You know, even though like throughout my whole life I was kind of made fun of for being an unhealthy weight, but you know they still wanted me to focus on education. They didn't really see powerlifting as my powerlifting as a passion. They saw it as a hobby. And especially my mom, she definitely, every time I get home, I'm sore. She's like, oh, just go lighter. Like, I don't know why you lift so heavy.
They don't really want me to powerlift because they are afraid that I'm going to injure myself. But I feel like if I am doing it safely and there's people around, I feel like I'll be okay. But they don't support me powerlifting. They don't.
My parent thinks that it is harming me by, like, they said that when I get older, it will hurt me, and they don't want to see me do it. And pretty much they don't support me at all, to be real.
I only played wrestling for a year. That was nice. That introduced me to weightlifting in general. And really introducing me to my underlying health problems.
Yeah, I did a year of wrestling, a year of tennis, 5 years of soccer, and a year of track.
I've tried wrestling, but I wasn't cut out for that. Other than that, I tried out for basketball, and I wasn't cut out for that either. So I guess, no, I didn't play any sport.
The one and only year I wanted to do football, it was something out of my comfort zone, you know. All I've known until that year I played football was extracurricular activities such as ASB, pretty much.
No, not at all. Like, my dad watches the occasional football, and then, you know, I don't really even, like, during my first powerlifting meet, I didn't even consider asking them because I know they wouldn't be interested.
My parents never grew up playing sport. They watch soccer, and that's about it. But other than that, we didn't really grow up with sports like that.
I wouldn't say so.
No, definitely not sports. Sports, like the most we'll have to do with sports in the household is cheering on the Seahawks when they're playing the game, or if they're ever in a Super Bowl or close to it. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, not much really.
Yeah, they see it as a hobby. They don't see it as like lifelong.
They don't. I mean, they're not really into sports like that. So they don't. I guess they don't understand.
I guess their view is more of like kind of like it's not a main thing. It's just like kind of like a side activity where you just do for like not even more than 2 hours. It's just like for fun. Like on some weeks, I wouldn't even consider it a hobby. It's just like they do not think it's important for me to play sport.
The view on sports is it's something entertaining to be a part of, especially by watching. But when it comes to participating in it, actually being involved in the sport, they weren't for it. Because you know, with sports you're adding more to your day. You know, you need to balance more of your time. You actually have to be really good with time management. You know, and not only that, like especially that year, I don't know why, but it was just a lot of dangerous things that were happening in regards to football. You know, a lot of life life-threatening injuries, if not death itself. You could apply that to any physical contact sport, but it's just something that my parents were definitely against, and were always, even until the end of when I played football.
I do think other people underestimate me. You know, I feel like back in high school, they're like, oh, and I never expected you to lift or really get into any of that. They really kind of saw me as the academic type of person, which I guess I am, but still, that is not an excuse.
No, because I feel like where I come from is, or what school, like Lincoln High School, where I came from. I feel like they're pretty accepted of that. But I could imagine that other schools are.
I would say so because for me, my experience at least, I didn't do any sport in high school because just the way they viewed me, kind of like I lost confidence in that. That's why I didn't want to do any sports in high school.
I do. I think that mindset really restricts Asian Americans from even allowing that to be an option. They just turn to video games or academics. At least that's how I felt for probably freshman to sophomore year. Definitely in middle school, I didn't see sports as an option.
Yeah. I feel like most of the Asian American on TV, or just Asians, are scrawny.
I would say so because for me, my experience at least, I didn't do any sport in high school because just the way they viewed me, kind of like I lost confidence in that. That's why I didn't want to do any sports in high school.
To an extent, that I feel like that still is preventing a lot of the Asian Americans from partaking in stuff such as sports. But I feel like that's slowly being diminished, slowly but surely. During these times, more people are more prone to being more open-minded, and I feel like this stereotype, hopefully sooner than later, is going to be diminished. But like I said before, I still think it still has impact on most Asian Americans, especially those that are like third, second generation. But I feel like as more of the time flies, it's going to be diminished, and we're going to be in a lot more sports, hopefully.
Hey guys, this is Anthony here to explain powerlifting, because I assume not many people know about powerlifting because it's not as advertised as NFL or the NBA or even Olympic lifting. Powerlifting is a strength sport where you go against other people in your weight class in 3 competitive lifts: the squat, bench, and deadlift. You go to things called meets, that's where you do your 3 attempts in each squat, bench, and deadlift, and you just see who was the best in your weight class, and yeah. All right, so now we'll showcase each lift. This is my friend Brandon here, just to showcase each lift, or to be the one doing the lift. Yeah. Right now he's setting up for squat. At a meet, typically, the middle judge will dictate each command. So right now, just say squat. Now, as you can see, his knee is above his hip crease, so we call it dip. He goes back up, and then they say rack. Yeah. And now, Brandon, we demonstrating bench. This one's kind of the most technical one because it has the most commands. And now he's setting up. Keep his back butt on the bench, feet contact. They'll say start, press, rack. Right now Brandon will be showcasing deadlift. Here's his feet position, keeping his hands with the bar. Up. Then his knees are locked out, shoulders are straight, his hips are in. Then the ref will say down. See his hands are in contact with the bar. That will be good.